Hello and welcome. I'm Jerry Chen with DIGITIMES. Today, we'll be delving into the Southeast Asia's shifting investment landscape and how the China Plus One strategy is impacting the global supply chain. Today here with us is Colley Hwang, the founder of the Taiwan-based tech media DIGITIMES. He's a seasoned ICT industry analyst with over 40 years of experience. Colley, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, good day, everyone, and welcome to join us.
So, Colley, to start us off, can you explain what factors are driving tech companies to shift their focus to South and Southeast Asia?
Absolutely, it's about the U.S.-China trade war. After year 2019, some of the sensitive products, like servers, like design, special products, we need to consider second source. But when we discuss about concept of China Plus One, we may have different concept and perception about this topic. Just example, most of the South Asian countries, they think China Plus One, which means China production site plus another one site. But from my point of view, Jerry, maybe you didn't know, I traveled to many countries over in South Asian countries especially. I've been to India about 20 times. I've been to Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, more than 10 times. So I travel a lot, and I have been traveled to about 100 major cities over to China. So I pay visit to many industry leaders, senior government officials, and as you say, yes, I'm one of the most senior industry analysts in Taiwan high-tech industry. Let me introduce myself at first. I came back to Taiwan in 1985. 1985 was a very important year for Taiwan, not because I come back, because that year was a taken off year of Taiwan PC industry. 1985, our government received the recommendation and suggestion, advice from a senior advisor of Taiwan government, who he passed away, who was the senior vice president of IBM, called Bob Evans. He talked to Taiwan government. He said, don't produce illegal copies anymore. And, before 1985, Taiwan produced many Apple II compatibles. And he said, if you want to pay patent fee to IBM, then you can claim your PC is IBM compatible PCs. And that is a good idea. So Taiwan do the way. Then we work with the mainstream and the standard by patent. So that is a very important scratch for Taiwan. Secondly, Taiwan, based on Microsoft Windows, to produce personal computers. 1985, Microsoft launched Windows. And 1986, Intel launched 386 CPU. Then we based on Microsoft and the Intel standards and IBM compatibility, Taiwan became today as a PC kingdom. We are very successful in PC business. And that year, I come back to Taiwan, so I witnessed all of the change. And myself, 1984, government received advice from Bob Evans again, and he say most of Taiwanese companies are small and medium-sized companies. It's very difficult for them to collect data. Secondly, most of the government officials, they didn't know what is high tech. So he suggests maybe Taiwan can organize a task force to form a strategy for the country and collect data global basis. And the government spent about $2.5 million to train 20 young men. I'm one of them. Actually, I'm the youngest one. So I'm the writer of the Taiwan Computer Industry Development Plan in 1985. 1986, I was assigned to Hsinchu Science Park to formulate for strategy for the park. And now, as you know, Hsinchu Science Park became the most successful science park in the world. Only in Science Park today, we have 170,000. Most of them, their engineers work in the park. And they create no less than $100 billion revenue for the country. So that is the most successful one. Along the science park, we have, I believe, at least we have 500,000 people work in the industry. And the famous university, like Tsinghua University, Jiao Tong University, Zhongyang University, Zhongyuan University, all around these regions. And we cultivate, train many good engineers, work for the industry. So we knew how Taiwan developed from scratch and it became a successful industry entity. So there is a history of Taiwan. And as I say, I witnessed all of the change. Now, next year, I'm going to become a 40 years experienced analyst. So I'm lucky. And maybe you didn't know, I studied in Korea. I lived there 2 years. So I speak Korean well. And that is good for me to understand deeply what's different between Samsung and the TSMC, something like that. So I studied Korea as long as 40 years. So that is a great experience for me when you ask me how India, how ASEAN countries, when they try to develop high-tech industry, what kind of information and knowledge they need or experience from not only Taiwan, but also from Korea and China. Yeah, Jerry, as you can imagine, I speak Mandarin very well.
Yes.
So when I travel to China, I don't have any obstacle to understand what's different from Taiwan and China. So there's a background why I can share with you about some suggestion to our audiences today.
Thank you, Colley. So speaking of your travel experience, as you can see now, the supply chain diversification is in full swing. We're seeing many Southeast Asian nations trying to fight for these high-value industries like semiconductors. So what strategies, based on your experience of traveling to all these different countries, could these nations use in attracting international firms? Is there something maybe they could learn from, maybe you said China or Korea's experience?
Okay, let's talk this topic like this way. We are industry people, so we need a framework and the knowledge, based on knowledge, to identify the strategy could be. Firstly, we can identify the industry into two different kinds of industry. One is high value add industry, like a semiconductor, like server related. Okay, there is high value add. So we can take an approach like top down. And if you thinking about the commodity like PC and the mobile phone, or some of the networking products, you need manpower, skillful engineer work for you. Then there's a bottom-up approach. So this is different, okay? And after year 2019, many Taiwanese companies moved out from China production site. The first site they choose, which is Vietnam, because Honai capital is close to Shenzhen and Dongguan area, which used to be Taiwan's most important overseas production site. And in the beginning stage, we have two reasons to choose Honai as the most important production site for overseas Taiwanese manufacturing. Because first one, transportation. Easy to run the logistics system from Shenzhen Dongguan to Honai. That's one thing. Secondly, Samsung built a production site. They produce 120 million units of mobile phone, actually two. So totally they have 240 million units production capacity for mobile phones. Then they need an ecosystem for all of the mobile phone products. So when Taiwanese company migrate to Honai, they can leverage the ecosystem and work together. So there is an ecosystem that is very important. So Honai become the first choice for commodity products. But Jerry, do you know how far from Honai to Ho Chi Minh City?
No clue. But
About 1,000 miles. Okay,
wow.
1,600 kilometers. Very far.
Yeah.
Even farther than Taipei to Seoul. Right? So they don't have highway to link together.
Yeah.
So it looks like a different geographic.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need to think about, if you want to go to Vietnam South,
Yes.
then you need to think about different way compared with mass production to do commodity PC mobile phone in Honai region. So you need to think about semiconductor, you need to think about industrial PC. That's one thing. Secondly, in South Vietnam, you need to identify Ho Chi Minh City, Pyeongchang, and Ton Nai are different. Ton Nai, they have airport, this is right. But Ton Nai may tell you, yeah, because our geographic position is good. So they may discuss with you like different way. Pyeongchang is a province nearby Ho Chi Minh City, maybe 30, 40 minutes, not far. And they just like New Taipei City of Taiwan. You know, you may didn't know, in New Taipei City, Zhonghe City, they have a very special manufacturing and with office as well. The site, I believe at least we have 30 to 40 listed electronic companies, the headquarters located there.
Mm-hmm.
So building that construction industry can think about the possibility to build a production site for overseas investors to do in Pyeongchang province. There is a way they can consider that. So every country, they have different strengths and opportunities. So if you can identify which city good for you, and because your strategy, not because they treat you good only. So I can recommend you. And Jerry, do you know how many countries, their population bigger than 100 million?
100 million.
How many?
Is there more than 50?
No, 12 only.
12 only. Wow.
Yeah. The number 12 is Philippines.
Philippines, yeah.
The country coming to become another 100 million population country will be Vietnam. Now it's 98 million about. So very close to 100 million. So which means the country has abundant manpower to work for you. But I would like to remind one thing. I read an article from DIGITIMES. They mentioned about Quanta, the biggest notebook PC manufacturer in the world. In year 2018, the company had 150,000 employees. By end of last year, 2023, the total employee down to 58,000 only.
Oh, 58,000.
So dramatically dropped. But you may didn't know, year 2018, Quanta had $500 million US dollars profit after tax.
Mm-hmm.
By end of last year, expand to 1.2 billion. So increased dramatically, but manpower down, reduced. So which means smart manufacturing. So even today, it doesn't matter Taiwanese company or Korean company, Japanese company, if you want to migrate to South Asian countries, you also need to consider not only basic manpower, you need to think about skillful manpower, and if local people can do that, and I believe overseas manufacturing or investment, FDI, we go the country more smoothly.
Yeah.
So that's why I suggest to you. And absolutely, I believe most of the emerging countries in South Asian countries, they try to improve that kind of things. But I just want to remind one thing. The status improve faster than you imagine. That's why I say only 5 years, Quanta, they down from 150,000 to 58,000. So there is a dramatic change.
Yes.
Not only Quanta, but also Wistron. Many companies in Taiwan, they do mass production, but now they need less basic manpower. They need more skillful workers work for them, technicians work for them.
Yes. So about the skillful talent. So what do you think, especially with Taiwan's comprehensive STEM education and the supply chains of manufacturing and semiconductors, how could Taiwan help these Southeast Asian nations build up their own talent pool for the long run?
Yes. Jerry, do you know how many people work in TSMC now?
Over 30,000?
No, 57,000. Okay. Last year, they create 69 billion US dollars.
69 million.
Yeah. With 53% of gross margin.
Oh.
And about 40% net profit after tax. Not bad, right? Very good. But only TSMC, they have new employees last year, about 6,000. But speak frankly, we don't have so many people can work for TSMC. We also need engineers work from overseas. So as I know, even executive levels in TSMC, they have many people from overseas. They may from different countries. So it doesn't matter. So global information industry, there is a globalized business way. So it doesn't matter, look like TSMC is a Taiwanese company. And we expect this year, the total revenue of TSMC could reach to 90 billion US dollars. That's a big deal. Yes, we're lucky. But we spent almost 4 decades to develop the industry from very scratch. So emerging countries can learn experience from Taiwan to understand how they can work from scratch and how they can work with Taiwanese companies. Today, we have about 1,000 listed electronic companies. So if you are overseas audiences, you can check our public company because government asks them to release financial reports monthly basis. So the information in Taiwan is quite open. There's one thing. Secondly, as I know, this year, as I mentioned, we have 1,000 listed electronic companies. The total revenue of 1,000 listed companies, I believe this year, total revenue could be about 1 trillion US dollars, which means every company, in average, they have 1 billion US dollars revenue. There's a big deal.
Yes.
Right? If you are a service company, you can come to Taiwan to serve them. If you are equipment, just example, if you are SML, applied material, lab research, chemical technical, advanced test. If you are multinational, globalized semiconductor equipment company, you cannot ignore the possibility, business opportunities from Asia especially.
Yes.
In case of the semiconductor equipment market, I believe 80% from Asia.
80%.
Yeah, ASEAN people good at mass production, and they're good at to leverage global business opportunities. But now, ASEAN countries, it doesn't matter Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, or India. Not only you learn experience from Taiwan, from Korea, but also you need to leverage domestic market because PC and the mobile phone, which was the business, rely on brand name business. Apple, HP, Dell, Lenovo, they make decisions. They design the spec they want. The only thing that they can do, link with the Asian partners, is about cost and efficiency. But now, we're talking about AIoT. We're talking about even emerging countries. They want to develop their data centers by themselves. And who produce servers for them? Yes, today, not only chips, advanced chips, 90% produced by TSMC, and more than 90% of the servers also produced by Taiwanese company. So if Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, they want to develop high-tech industry, they need to know how to deal with Taiwanese company. Because scale, experience, you don't have the room for error. So there is a very big challenge for today. Electronic industry is getting mature, not like 40 years ago. When you start from scratch, no real competitor, right? At that time, Taiwan enjoyed, there is a golden age for Taiwan.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's why I say only two countries success, Taiwan and Korea. And because there is about education system. Mm. I studied in Korea 2 years, graduate school. So I knew Korea has very good universities, like Seoul University, Yonsei, mm-hmm. like Kyunghee University, like 외국어 대학교. I knew many good schools, Colley University, you name it. Many of them, they are top 100 in the world. And in Taiwan, we have Taiwan University, Tsinghua University, Jiao Tong University. They are all good schools. So we educate, train many good talents, all for high tech. And we are lucky because Taiwan, Korea, all has a very specialties. It's about population density. We are all high population density country in the world. That it's easy for us to gather young men work together. And we also have a good education system, as I say. And that's the reason why Taiwan success and Korea success as well. So if you want to learn the experience from successful example, Taiwan and Korea are a good example. But Taiwan and Korea are a little bit different. Mostly in Taiwan, we spin off from government research organization like ITRI. But lately, they spin off and they become a successful entrepreneur by themselves. Korea mostly rely on conglomerates. In Korean, they say Zaber. Zaber means conglomerates. Yes. So if you understand, Samsung, LG, Hynix, and even Samsung, SK Telecom, they're all successful in high-tech field, but they are conglomerates. So their ecosystem is not like Taiwan. So Samsung, LG has brands in the market, like your PC, your TV set, your mobile phone, they are successful for many years. But in Taiwan, we have more diversified industry. Like Taiwan has about 20% global IC design industry share, just behind Silicon Valley. But I believe our design industry about 10 times bigger than Korea. Not because Taiwan is smarter, because we have the downstream industry. We have Foxconn, we have Quanta, we have Wistron, Inventec as well. So they create huge demand for key components, including semiconductor.
Mm-hmm. So we're behind all the most important parts.
Yes, and because Taiwan is a smaller country, mm-hmm. So it's easy for us to talk to each other. Like 90% of the headquarters of high-tech companies located in Hsinchu and the Taipei area. which is about 60, 70 kilometers only, 1 hour distance. So I went Hsinchu quite often, very often. So easy to talk, easy to know each other. So I even knew most of the industry leaders because we to see each other quite often.